Hello and welcome back to the Bible Bearded and Bold. Today we're going to be talking about the chiastic structure of the entire book of the Bible. And I don't want you turned off by words like chiasm or chiastic and other theological terms that you may not use every day, but a chiasm is simply a literary device that was used by ancient writers when writing works of literature. It simply is a mirror image structure where the beginning matches the end and the climax is in the middle. You'll notice this in many Bible books where the main focus of the book is in the middle and then the heart of it. Like if you look at the book of Job, the climax of the book is in the middle. It ends with God talking to Job, but the greatest part of the literature is in the middle. So the entire Bible being structured as a chiasm is real simple to understand, and you already see it if you've read the scriptures before. You already will notice that the first two chapters of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, you have a perfect environment, a perfect God, perfect humanity, in a perfect relationship with that God. And then in the last two chapters of the Bible, you have the same thing. You've got perfect humanity, perfect God, perfect environment, perfect relationship between all three of those things. And there's no sin in the first two chapters and the last two chapters of the Bible. You have a sinless society. So you could say that everything in between the those four chapters, the two in the beginning and the two in the end, everything in between that is to teach us how to get back to the paradise that was lost. In the third chapter of the Bible, we have Genesis chapter 3, and you've got the first judgment that takes place. God gives a verdict of judgment against Adam and Eve. They're kicked out of the garden. The woman and the man both have separate curses on account of the sin that they allowed into their lives. It affected the entire world. And then in the third to last chapter of the Bible, Revelation chapter 20, you've got the final judgment, the last judgment, that's all judgments and verdicts against the unrighteous, those who have rejected Christ's teachings, who have rejected God's Spirit pleading with Him. And that Spirit is pleading with you right now. No matter what your religious persuasion or non-religious persuasion is, God's Spirit talks to us all. If you look at the fourth chapter of the Bible, you have Cain killing Abel. So what is that? That is the first taking of a life, and it shows two groups of people symbolizing those two men, the righteous and the unrighteous. So you've got the unrighteous slaying the righteous man, and if you go to Revelation 19, you've got Christ and the angels slaying the remnant of the final bit of the wicked that are on the earth. So the righteous slaying the wicked, it's a reversal of what went on in the fourth chapter of Genesis, which was the wicked slaying the righteous. If you go to the fifth chapter, it continues going. This chiastic structure keeps going. In the fifth chapter of Genesis, you've got a genealogy of the holy line of sons of God from Adam to Noah. These are the ones that followed God's laws, God's ways. And then what do you have in Genesis 18, the fifth to last chapter? You have a lineage of all of the wicked in the last days, the lineage of Babylon. And then if you go to Genesis 6 through 8, you've got the destruction of the world by flood, and if you go to Revelation 15 through 17, you've got the destruction of the world by the 7 last plagues. So there is a chiastic structure in the entire Bible, and it's not just there to be cool or neat or interesting. It's instructive in its nature. What it's teaching us by looking at the first 7 chapters of the Bible, 8 chapters of the Bible, it's teaching us how we can get back to that paradise. When we see the paradise in the beginning of the Bible and the paradise at the end of the Bible, everything in between is teaching us how to get back to our original state. And when you accept Jesus Christ into your life, that is the first step towards the restoration that God is wanting you to be a part of. One day this whole world will be restored, but first you must be willing to let Christ restore you. And that's what the chiasm of the entire canon of Scripture teaches us.